Hello!
Hey everyone, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today. Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee.
Welcome everybody.
Hi.
Happy Thursday evening.
Happy almost Friday.
Happy
Ooh.
almost Friday. That sounds even better.
That does sound better.
Hope everyone is doing well today.
Yes, it's been a pretty crazy busy day here today.
You know, I felt like I had no fingers because every time I tried to do something, they just kept failing. I'm like, I can't hold this, I can't twist that, I can't put this on. Ah! Is Mercury retrograde? No, something else must be bumming me out.
I don't think... what did I tell you?
You win. We made a bet.
He was laying in a little bed, and I said to Mr. O, I said, does you know who just wait until we start talking to the camera, and then he jumps up here? And sure enough...
There he is.
There he is. Right on schedule.
So, Mr. O, Oberon, has a confession to make.
Oh.
How many folks out there watch Thoughts from Thoth Thursday? Did you watch it?
No.
Well, then I shouldn't have to confess, but apparently Mr. O decided that the Aleister Crowley Thoth deck was on vacation and he used the Navigator's Tarot, the Mystic Sea, for the Thoth reading.
Nobody said anything, I think, on...
Well, either nobody watched it or nobody wanted to tell me I made a boo-boo. So at any rate, I decided to rectify my mistake by using the Crowley deck tonight in our regular readings. That's one of my three. And then on Sunday, Navigator's Tarot will take a vacation and Thoth's deck will fill in for them. Because, you know, maybe Navigator's Tarot wants to sail away too. So that's what I'm going to do.
It does sound like Mercury retrograde to me.
Hi, Gina. Oh, there's so much going on that I
Gina.
keep thinking is...
Poor Mr. O.
Mr. O, if it wasn't for Bark, he would have nothing.
Oh, my goodness. Well, hey, let's get on with it. Without further ado. So, except for one thing, it's my favorite time coming up. Olympics! Mr. O is sad too. It's so good he has Bark to keep him company because the TV will be keeping me company for days.
I become an Olympics widower.
Yes.
Where is that love of mine? Where did they go?
Just true to my Aries nature, I gotta watch the athletics. Yes,
I don't.
Alright, so anyway, I am shuffling here the Mermaids and Dolphins deck. Brought that out for a nice summer reading for the collective.
Love it. Thank you.
This is so confusing, Mr. O.
You mean the Thoth deck or the Olympics or all of it?
All of it.
No one knows what goes on. Even the owner of a lonely brain cell.
You know what, Mr. O, I'm going to let you pick one at random, but let me double check something here. Uh-oh. Where are these three? Okay. There is no reversed. I just want to be sure. You pick one.
She sells
Seashells.
down,
Don't make me do that. I have
down
a
by the
list.
shore. No prize. Okay,
Ooh, that
it's
looks-
number 14, the Siren.
Oh. 14?
Yes.
And what does it say there?
In the treasure of a day, light is thrown on what could be tomorrow.
The key word for the Siren is decision.
Beautiful.
As the Siren charms with her sweet song, your words will receive the response you desire. An invitation that is hard to resist will arrive from someone who is emotionally attached to you. You may be accepting people who willingly come to you and letting go of those who do not. A relationship will not end right if it begins wrong. Telltale signs may lead you to question another's honesty. Perhaps shame will be hidden behind a jagged rock. An imprudent man who draws near a siren will never return because sirens were treacherous goddesses invoked at the moment of death. You, like the siren, will sweetly charm the tune, not by lyre or flute, but by observation. Holy cow. Seems like there was a lot going on with that card.
Certainly.
But it's very beautiful.
And someone else likes the Olympics too.
Oh.
No surprise. Let me guess.
Gina.
Well, it's Summer Olympics, but do you normally like the winter ice skating? Because that's like one of her big things.
Well, it's one of my big
Figure
things
skating.
in the winter. I like ice racing too, speed skating, because I used to do that. Not professionally, obviously, but I used to do that as a kid. And I like swimming. I like the gymnastics. Absolutely, Simone Biles. Go Simone Biles. And some of the other sports are interesting to me as well. I like some of the relays, the races. I definitely love running and track and field because, believe it or not, I used to do track and field. One of the things that I could not do well, but I always got stuck doing, was jumping, like the broad jump or the long jump. I'm not a jumper.
We probably have told the tale too many times, but for those who don't remember or are new, we went to the same high school, large high school, graduating class about 600, but we were in two different grades, so we didn't know each other at all. We met in college, but she was a jock in high school, and I was kind of like a nerdy freak, stoner. Well, by the 12th grade I was. Okay, so in addition to using the Aleister Crowley deck, I'm also using the English Magic Tarot. There it is, the Hierophant. And the Tarot of the Ages, and there's the Fool from that one. I know, it's a stunning silence.
Skiing, I forgot to mention skiing. I love all the skiing. But what is the one, what do they call it? Is it, oh God, why can't I think of the name of it? But it's the one where they go down the ramp and they fly. They just soar and, they go for how far they go. I love that. And I love the slalom. I really like that one too.
But you don't like roller coasters. That's sort of like a roller coaster.
Well, I've never skied per se. I've done
Okay.
some cross country, but I've never done much downhill. No. That's a thing. That's just a bridge too far for me. Yeah. Or
So what do you get,
steep
Banshee?
for me.
Steep.
What decks do I have? Well, I'm mixing up just slightly. It's still the Dog Days of Summer. So I have my
Hi,
magic,
Libra Cuss.
my Magic Dogs Tarot. This is the World in that deck.
Ooh, I like that.
I know, it's very pretty. Woof woof. I have a great card for Saturday's Dog Days of Summer reading on Twitter and Facebook. It's a hoot. And what do I have here? I have, of course, the The Wise Dog Tarot by M.J. Cullinane. There's the Eight of Wands there.
Aww.
And a speedy little dog.
Look at that guy go.
Ski jumping. Okay. Sorry. My brain just went dead on that one, Gina. And then I have the Mermaids deck because, hey, it is summer. There's the High Priestess in that beautiful deck. And finally, last but not least, I brought back out the Fairy Tarot. I have the Ace of Pentacles is upright in that one.
Gina, we will not speak of the jumping. It is not spoken of.
Yes, it is. Jumper.
Well, if it's the kind of jumper I'm thinking of, we knew one.
Well, you will get what you desire, Gina. The Wise Dog deck will be yours. So let me see. We had Deep Shaika. I lost the list after that. And then Gina. Wow, it might be a slow night tonight, but you never know who will pop in. So we'll see.
What are all the butterflies trying to tell you? Libra. That's interesting.
And hey, I'm sure Mr. O would not mind me ending early tonight. He's had it.
I'm a little wasted, but can get to work on some other project that I need to do desperately.
Butterflies, you know, right off the bat, Libra, butterflies are transformation and change and growth. So, you know, and there's other things about the butterfly, obviously, you know, not just transforming, but transforming from that caterpillar into the beautiful butterfly speaks of beauty.
Well, I take my cue from the butterfly. I take my cue from the Greek legend of.
Want to start?
Sure. Psyche and Cupid, or Psyche and Eros. And Psyche was symbolized as a butterfly because Psyche means soul, and they felt that the butterfly was sort of a spiritual manifestation of a person's soul, or a lovely person like Psyche. You know, she was beloved of Eros, the god of love.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's all very cosmic.
A cosmic love story.
And we helped, didn't we?
We did.
We performed a wedding that had a theme of Eros and Psyche's love.
Yeah, yeah. And the nice couple that we wedded, who unfortunately are now divorced.
But they've occasionally dropped in here too,
yeah,
each of
they
them.
bought us those statues.
Yeah.
That was very nice.
Yeah. It was a very large public celebration out in the sun, right around this time of year too. Maybe a little earlier in the summer. Anyway, butterflies are
one
cool.
of the weddings I enjoyed doing.
I did like doing that one. I like doing most of the weddings.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we used to perform weddings, and we can perform legal weddings, and we may be able to do that again soon. I don't know if we're going to go far across the states to do that.
Did you read Penis?
Aw.
Yes, and I'm slobbo tonight. No, I'm wearing my wolf.
I don't have underwear on underneath. No, I don't.
Oh, gosh. Too much info, Mr. O. Highly unnecessary. And speaking of butterflies, Libra Cusp, I have my butterfly light going here. So we have more butterflies.
So what indeed is that message?
Can you, like, move that pile down?
Maybe.
Just kind of, you know. Well, you're taking up the real estate. How much space did we give him, and how much space is he taking?
So we have the 10 of coins upright. We have the Knight of Swords upright.
The 10 of coins upright?
And the Knight of Swords.
Mm.
And then we have the 8 of Wands upright.
Wow. Wow.
So something's coming quick, I think.
Well, there's a lot of speed and motion surrounding things.
Yeah, with the Knight too. I mean, the Knight and the 8 both look like speed. Deliberation towards a goal is what I'm thinking. And maybe, I know you're recently out of a job. I don't know if you're back in the thick looking for another job. But it does sort of look like there's something happening on the material front that is good. It doesn't exactly signify a job, but it signifies material security.
Illegal weddings? Well, maybe.
Oh, that kind of illegal.
Anyway. So, Libra, there's something happening financially here. You have a decision to make, and whether it's about a job or getting income from some source. I don't even know if this has to do with borrowing money or, getting something from a family connection. But whatever this is moving rather swiftly. So it's either, I don't know whether there's any opportunities that you know about right now to increase your wealth in some way, but it looks like it's happening.
I think that sometimes you could also just say that there's an implication of overall security, that this doesn't necessarily mean that,
true.
Uncle Willie says, oh, I remember my niece Libra Cusp and I would like to leave her, $50, whatever. But the point is it's more about a sense of security, like being in a family, being in a functional group of adults or people who understand and have relationships with each other. So it could be a commune if you were that sort of person, But I think it's really talking about security overall. And maybe, a family is just you and one person, or just you and your kids, or whatever it is.
Well, I was also going to say that maybe this isn't about getting money per se, but it's about making decisions that will, ensure your financial security and well-being. Maybe there's certain decisions that you're going to have to make with some speed in order to make sure, things are running smoothly, now if you're out of a job. That's a possibility too. But I like speaking about money coming in better,
To me, the night is more about, moving towards a goal. So that goal could be more employment, or it could be a situation that, finds this material security for you. You cool?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I didn't even look
Hi,
at it.
Divine.
Hey, Divine. Get you on the list. I don't know what else to say about this. Okay, this news or whatever it is may come as a letter or a message to you in some way, or maybe you're expecting a message about this, but also, since this was about the butterflies, I think that maybe this is saying this is the message the butterflies had for you.
To watch for this coming.
Yeah. I think that's just sealing the deal here.
Yeah, I would say watch for these things to come to you, that somehow a communication is coming to you about this matter, and it will more or less indicate what we've said, but also that was what the butterfly meant for you too, that it's sort of just sending, we don't think of butterflies as swift flying, but in a way, what's that thing about the butterfly effect? The butterfly's wings over in another continent could cause a tornado over here. It's like the little things that mean a lot. And maybe that's what it's saying, is that it may seem like a little thing, but it's going to mean a lot to you when it happens.
That's what we have for you. Interesting. I've been seeing a lot of wildlife lately myself.
So thank you for that.
Angel Mary, you are up, and then my sweet Christina, Deepshika, Gina, and Divine Mew. Yeah, I have a dentist appointment next week, Divine Mew, so...
Real quick, Divine, we did send a message back to you on Facebook Messenger, so explaining what happened. We're going to do this, but we just needed a little more time, so check that out.
If you want another reading tonight, that's fine too.
Absolutely.
But expect something else from us, because, you have been a nice donator here, and we really appreciate that. So we will be back in touch with you. Okay, so Angel Mary, you are up.
Let's give Angel Mary a minute or so.
It just was a rough day for Mr. O. He had a real rough schedule today. I was pretty busy myself today, kind of flew out. And I started exercising again in earnest, so that took the wind out of me a little bit.
Sometimes I get to a point where certain technology failing on me, or I'm not understanding how it's supposed to work, and I get so darn frustrated that I could destroy it all. No.
Okay, I'm going to use my Mermaid Tarot. Let's just throw 3 cards this time and see what comes up. I'm not going to do that one reading, because also wants to know if it will be a serious relationship.
And I probably didn't drink enough liquid either.
And he worked part of the day. I had to drive my granddaughter to and from school, which is always nice to touch base with her. He's given me a little more space here because I gave him lamb chops to lay with. He's got a little lamb chops. I don't know whether he thinks it's his baby, but he does like lamb chops.
He seems contento.
Yeah, he seems very content when lamb chops is around.
Last night when I was leaving work with the other staff, a little bunny crossed our path. And all of us went, oh, it's a bunny.
They've been all over the place lately. 'Tis the season. I was supposed to pick those up.
Oh. Well, you didn't. Where were you?
Well, I'll the surface, let me just say, Angel Mary, this doesn't look like a love reading, but I can sort of see stuff here. We have the Three of Swords reversed. We have the World upright. And we have the Death card upright. So, oh no, you're not starting again. Hold that tongue. The Three of Swords reversed, Angel Mary, indicates, this is a time of healing for you in some way, whether you need it, whether you feel you need it or not. It's as if, that things are starting to right themselves for you on an emotional level. And with that comes hope that success and possibly, a positive long-term relationship, more serious relationship is coming. And I would say this, that whatever is coming your way is going to radically change your life.
I almost feel that the Three of Swords reversed might indicate that maybe this is about the previous or a previous person, and that maybe there might be a sense of closure. I don't know that there's a rekindling, but I get the feeling like there's a sense of a closure, and that might be important for you to allow yourself to feel like you're ready to move on, because maybe you didn't get that, or maybe there's something there that remained unsaid, or a sorrow between you and a previous lover that was not quite borne out in a certain way, where you can have closure. And so I do feel that if that happens, that's what the world is for. The world is saying that things will kind of start to right themselves and go in the forward motion that you want it to. And I do feel that just that idea of that thing happening for you maybe creates also the spiritual change, the dramatic change in yourself, to open you up to not only just love, but also being engaged in the world.
Well, the world, to me is like, if it is your goal and your dream and you are working on finding a serious relationship, I think because the world is upright, I think it is attainable. And I feel that death indicates to me that, if things really haven't been moving that way for you, expect a big change. I just think big change is coming, a transformation, and that looks very, very positive to me. Let's see if the Lenormand will throw any more light on this. I don't really see anything.
Hi, Lena.
Oh, hi, Lena. We'll get you on the list. I don't see anything that's specific about the person, per se, who it's going to be. Other than the fact that if I looked at the world for that, I could say that this could be a very successful person. It might be somebody who's very successful in life when you meet them on a professional level.
It could also be true that this is really very dramatically different. This kind of personality represents somebody who is really fundamentally different from previous ones. Excuse me. There'll be another. Maybe not. So I do feel like there's a sense of dynamicness about the individual, and I realize I didn't speak to that in the beginning, but I sort of feel that a part of this happening is dependent on how, you embrace, the ending of a previous one, or what that meant to you inside, the pain you might have felt when it ended.
This one just popped into my... Oh.
Mine did too. So I pulled the letter. Whoops. There we go again. Can't get there. And you have pulled the moon. So we have the letter and the moon.
Well, that's interesting, Angel Mary. I usually don't say this, but I wonder with the letter, because the letter's often about written communication. So, this could indicate a love letter, but, in the world today, maybe this is actually going to come from social media or some kind of a connection here. But it almost looks like a romantic love letter,
Yes, this is actually quite interesting, because I guess to me, I was sort of like not really getting towards what your question was, but this sort of ties it up. And that's, thank goodness for the Lenormand sometimes. But I do sort of feel you could expect some communication that may indicate interest from somebody. I don't know exactly how that could be. Maybe they're going to just drop you a line somehow because they know you in some other walk of life. But a communication, I don't think it's like you just meeting them and then deciding to date them. I think it's more like they somehow are in touch with you.
I have no timetable really per se on this, but I would say that,
cycles.
I think possibly, I'm not going to put like all my money on this, but I would say, Angel Mary, that possibly the next person you connect up with could end up being something serious.
Okay.
That's what we have for you. Good luck with that. Hey, my sweet Christina.
Lena, so it's really late over there, eh? Wow.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for staying up for us.
Hi, Janice. Hello.
Hi, Janice.
Welcome to the show. We will add you to the list. And I will read the list right now. It's not a very long one. We're doing My Sweet Christina right now, and then Deep Shaika, and then Gina, Divine You, and then Lena, and then Janice. So hang in there with us, Janice, and glad you joined
I'm glad
us.
you liked it. Thank you, Angel.
Oh, you're very welcome, Angel Mary. Good to see you.
No, it probably can't because we've tried this ourselves. We really have.
Yeah, but you don't think I haven't tried that? I have tried lots of different methods. And I'll tell you what, my sweet Christina, the thing that's always worked for me more than anything else, except for one thing, and I'll get into that in a minute, is random numbers. I win a lot on just random, easy pick numbers. I play a number all the time, and some of those come out, but I've never won much money on them. And then the only other thing that I have been lucky with is numbers I have dreamt about. Like if I dream of a 3-digit number or a 4-digit number, I play those in that, in those type of lottery drawings, and those have come out.
And unlike her, I don't have much of an interest. I've rarely played, and I don't believe I've ever won. Have I? I don't remember. But there's a deck that I use exclusively.
Okay, Gina, I'll keep that in mind if you get caught up. Okay.
There's a deck I use exclusively that all of the tarot are just numbered from 1 to 78. So when I know that the computer draw is a number between 1 and 51 and 70, then I make sure I have those cards and I just pull them and look for those numbers. But I've only done that once or twice and the results were not very satisfying. I think we should take this as a serious question, but really kind of yes or no.
No. Do you have any other question, my sweet Christina? Because I don't know that we could really do that. You want to try to do that?
Well, she's asking if they can manifest. So that's a yes or no question.
Oh. I think she wanted the numbers for tomorrow.
Well, we can do this as a yes or no, and then we can tell you what numbers might be inferred by the card numbers.
Maybe a couple of the numbers. We'll do that for you. I don't know that we could really do that.
I'm using Aleister Crowley, and I'm hoping good old wicked Uncle Al hears us. Excuse me.
Well, we'll give it a shot.
My sweet
yes,
Christina
no,
needs
right?
some new shoes for baby. Come on.
More than new shoes, you want that house. You want that car. I want that car. I am going to win that car. For those who are just joining us, I am in...
Okay, you have another question?
Oh, okay.
Good, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, my sweet.
We're sorry to rain on your parade there, but
Yeah.
honestly, if it could be done, there would be some people who...
I would have already won that way. I'm pretty lucky.
She is.
And I made it to the finals of this new car competition
That's
with
right.
a radio station, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed.
Maybe we should live stream from the contest.
Wouldn't that be a...
Everybody, send your energy.
Here you go.
I'm waiting for the other question.
Go ahead and post it, my sweet. Actually, I'm putting my money on the Lucky for Life. The Lucky for Life is an easier contest.
Oh, well, I don't even need the cards to answer that question. But
Let's do a yes or no on that.
let's do it.
Let's see what they say. But what are you going to do if it says yes?
I have an anecdote that just happened to me today in my public library where I work. Let me focus on your question.
Let's not go there.
Well, I'll say it in a more general way then. But I'm thinking of your question.
That's okay. We got you, my sweet. All right, let me...
I even trimmed my mustache a little bit.
Since you picked up mine before... Wow, interesting. Very interesting. It's leaning towards no. No surprise there. You know, what is the one true religion? You know, religion is such a hot button issue. And so many people have, you know, with all the diversity of faiths out there, how can we really say our religion is the one true religion? So it's leaning towards no for a good reason, I feel here. And this is really interesting. We have the Queen of Discs reversed. And then we have the Eight of Cups upright. I love this card in this question. I almost can't believe it came up.
Oh,
Can
wow.
I go first?
Go ahead.
So the Queen of Discs reversed is indicating to me that, you know, there are people that are very, very stubborn. And they're set in their ways, that their way is the one true and only way.
Dogmatic.
Dogmatic. That is kind of the Queen of Pentacles. And the Eight of Cups is indicating to me that, you know, we're always seeking the truth. We're always out there trying to seek that higher truth. The truth is out there, but, you know, we're all seekers on that path.
I had a different thought about that Queen of Discs there, and I kind of lost it a little bit, but it kind of hit me that what it really comes down to is that they can't control things. This is the card of somebody who wants to control something, who wants to make it be what they want, but they don't really have the right tools or attitude to do that. It's one thing to say, I want everybody to believe what I believe, but there's a more effective way to try to do that. I mean, we have free will, and, you know, that's really what it comes down to.
That comes down to it in that card right there, too.
And then that's the Eight of Cups, is that people will always feel free to move towards where they feel truth will really come from. And so that could mean that people that you're talking about are really kind of lonely.
I'm not sure what the Lenormand can add to a question like this, but let's give it a shot. Let's just see. I spoke it too soon.
No.
Yes. Isn't that awesome? Sometimes the cards just click with a question in ways you just never expect. So the ring is about commitment, you know, it's about bonding to something. And the stars is the vast universe. So I have to ask you, what would you make of that, Mr. O?
Well, I guess this is just saying that they have a commitment to what they believe, and for them, it really does knock their socks in a way. Is that what you were going to say?
In a way, Bam, in a way, yes. I feel that, we all commit to a path, and, the universe can support that. I mean, this universe is our belief systems are maybe not as vast as the universe itself, but the universe has room for all of us, let's face it.
There are some universal truths, especially when it comes to these things that we call good or not good, evil. But the point is that there is also an incredibly gray area where things don't exactly fit into those categories. And it's wonderful for them, like we said, that it knocks their socks, it rocks their socks. But others don't always feel that way, and that's where we have that Eight of Cups that sometimes others seek. So we're glad that they're very happy, but they should understand that not everyone would be happy.
Wow, so interesting question you threw at us, and honestly, the cards came through.
Thank
my
you.
opinion, anyway.
Thank you, Janice. Those are the...
I wanted to talk about that.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
They're mine.
They're hers.
They are mine. I kind of am the more Lenormand person in the household, but the Lenormand are basically a deck of cards, divinatory cards. These are actually tiles that some artist created. They created the design, and they created these tiles, and they are kind of like a work of art. They did cost me. They're beautiful, and I love reading the Lenormand cards, and we do combine them with the tarot cards.
We tried to be friends once, my sweet, with somebody who was interested in what we did and helping promote us. And they were one of 3 adopted sons of a very hardcore Christian minister. And as we got to know this person, we realized that they had a lot of damage in them because of a very oppressive style of parenting. And they were really confused about some of their spiritual aspects. But it was an interesting thing for us to go through.
Okay, so also I just wanted to add, Divine You is having problems. Divine You, if you want to type in your question, if you think you're going to get knocked off, we could do it for you when your turn pops up, and you can watch it later. I was looking to see if I had the box these rooms came in, these tiles came in. It really doesn't need the rubber band on it. That was just show the box. This is the box that they came in. And they're absolutely beautiful. They came in with a couple extra man and woman tiles.
So they all stack up in there.
Right. It's just and look at how the lid pops off and it fits right back on. She created this box as well. Her name is Jamie Sawyer, and amazing stuff, really. Beautiful deck. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to move on to Deep Shaika. Deep Shaika, you are up. And after Deep Shaika is Gina, Divine You, Lena, and Janice. Yeah, amazing work. She even does tarot tiles, but let's just say it's very expensive. But boy, that would just be wonderful. Plus, I got a wooden board that she created to do the, what is it called? The Grand Tableau, which is laying out all the tiles. It's a reading that involves all the tiles, and it fits the tiles. Stimulus money. I ended up doing this one-time purchase because it was just
we'll do that.
too good to pass.
Can you type that name into the chat, or do I need to do it?
I can do it.
Okay, we got you. Good luck. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, she made some masks too during the pandemic here, and one of the masks was a Lenormand mask I have. Couldn't resist that either.
Okay, so we're still waiting for Deep Shaika. So hopefully
Deep
you're with
Shaika,
us.
are you with us? We'll give you a couple more minutes. Do you have an announcement or two? You want maybe talk about the modalities?
I'm surprised we didn't mention it earlier, but our modality came on around noon, And for those who don't know, that's our unique astrological tarot reading. We actually read tarot cards for your modality sign, not your elemental or your actual zodiac sign. And it's sort of like a clue on how your energies will work with others and how you can focus in different ways during the month ahead. So we did enter Leo, so that's out there on our YouTube channel. Sunday you can watch Material Matters with Banshee and me in the chat room.
I'll be in the chat room. We're premiering that video.
And then I also have an emotional exchanges, your love life or how things are going in your emotional life. That's on Friday morning at
And next week,
7 o'clock. Next week is what?
happy.
Happy hour.
There it goes.
All
We
right.
are working on our happy hour show, which is a 1 hour, 1 card pull, a message from Spirit, positive, affirming message from Spirit. No bad news on happy hour. But we are moving it around different days of the week, and we haven't decided yet when next week is going to be. But if you subscribe to us here, or if you subscribe on Twitter or Facebook, you will find out when our next happy hour will be.
We have an interesting question. Is it your deck?
Well, let's take a look. Yeah, how do we want to do that? Should we do 3 cards first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. All right, let me grab. Let's see what the dogs have to say.
So we have your question, Deep Shaika, and we'll do that now.
Yes, we've done questions like this before.
Also, remember, we're on Sundays too for live streaming, and that's from 2 to 4 p.m. Sundays. So check that out too.
We're just going to keep busy.
Keep
And
it
I
busy.
haven't been really good at all with keeping up with our blog on our new website,
Me neither.
TFTtarotfortoday.com. But all our readings that are for sale are posted there, and there will be blog stuff coming. I have literally started 3 different blog posts, and I haven't finished any one of them. So
we are
working
getting
on
to
it.
your question, Deep Shaika.
Yep, we're doing it right now. All right. And here
Hello,
comes
boy.
the cat.
And we have cats too, Janice.
Oh, wasn't he here?
Yeah, but you don't always see him until he jumps up. Are there any ghosts in your maternal grandmother's house?
3 cards first. If we have to do a yes, no, we will.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see what the vibe is. What'd you draw?
3 of Cups.
Well, there could be a visitor.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily say it's a bad one, though, so let's see what we get. All right, I'm going to move things down because he is making it impossible to use the table. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. We have the Emperor upright. We have Death reversed. And Mr. O. Oh, this is Cups. We have the 5 of Cups reversed. I at first thought that was 5 of Sky, and so I was really worried because that's the 5 of Swords. There may be something.
There's something going on, I believe.
I think, but I'm not sure it's really bad. What do you
I don't
think?
know that it's necessarily bad.
It might be a little aggressive because the Emperor is here. It might be a little demonstrative.
Okay, so you're asking if they're troubling. Spirits, if they are here, they may have different motivations, and so sometimes it may be that we are meant to possibly help them find their way back to where they belong. But I get the feeling like the spirit could be an older person who may have lived there before. Maybe there's a connection to the maternal grandmother, so maybe that was a sibling or somebody relative of theirs, or maybe it was their husband.
Where are you getting that one from?
That.
Okay.
But there is something that's sort of holding him here. I think this stagnation or inertia represents the idea that they are being held here for some reason.
I was bam, because, okay, I feel like this might be an aggressive spirit, but only because they're trying to be demonstrative. They want people to know they're there. And the yes.
Yes.
And the death card, and I feel it is a masculine energy, like you said. I feel that strongly with that card. And the death card reverse definitely indicates like it's stuck. It can't move on.
It's the perfect metaphor when you're talking about spiritual things, because normally it doesn't necessarily apply to human death. It applies to just inertia in the body politic, so to speak.
But that Five of Cups, why do I think that means that it's I think they want to move on. I think that's what it is, that maybe they want to move on. Yeah, they're
they're
trapped.
stuck here for some reason, and maybe they feel somebody in that house can help them. Or they're just expressing, venting. Sometimes, from what we understand, some spirits can't exactly accept that they're gone. They sort of feel like they're still here, and they don't understand why people don't talk to them or relate to them like they're alive.
Yeah, there's so many different factors. I'm not the most expert person on ghosts. I mean, I have a history of ghosts and stuff in my family. There was a haunted house in my family. I think it was really more of a poltergeist, though, activity than maybe an actual ghost in the traditional sense. But I feel that, that maybe, they just want to be acknowledged before they do move. Maybe they need to be acknowledged and understood and told that it is okay for them to move on. Maybe that's all they need. Sometimes ghosts trap themselves. They kind of don't realize they're dead, like he said, and they kind of trap themselves here, with that kind of thought process or that energy. And so maybe they just need it to be known to them that they can move on. Because I feel that Five of Cups is indicating to me, because it is, well, wait a minute, yeah, that's right, because it is upright, that they really are remorseful. They're remorseful about something. If it's not moving on, it may be something that they did in their life that's holding them here. I'm giving you a lot of possibilities, I know, but I think the key thing to think about here is they may be stuck.
Well,
I pulled first. I'm sorry. Go ahead and grab one.
Yes, and I have something to say about maybe what should be done to deal with that spirit.
What do you think of that
Sun.
combo? So we have the book and we have the sun. So I think you need to find out more. I really think you need to, find out more. Like, for example, has your grandmother lived there all her life? Do we know the history of this property and who might have been there before? This may require a little bit of research.
I'm thinking there is research involved. I'm thinking still that this is something maybe from a longer time ago. I just feel that from looking at the sun, like this is a sense of an eternal thing happening for a long time. But what I do feel sometimes with really troublesome spirits is that sometimes you do have to do something more active to either compel them to leave or to move on somehow. That can take the range from, simple cleansing ceremonies in your home or that home. Maybe using sage. But I recommend salt, actually.
I mean, you might have to do a little bit more research even into just seeing, what the spirit's intent is. Sometimes spirits, are connected to the land and they won't leave because they're connected to the land. So I feel like some research on the property might be in order, and that might help you, have the spirit go to the light, which is the sun there, Or the sun is there just to say, you really need to shed a little bit more light on this situation.
Yes, I sort of felt it was an anachronism in a way because they both suggested finding out more or researching or discovering something.
I was wondering, where was my list? And he was on it. So that's what we have for you. Good question, Deep Shaika. I hope that helped.
And yeah, I agree with you too, Divine Universe, on that too, that sometimes They just sort of want to be known.
Okay, Gina, are you back?
She did ask a question.
She
though, right?
did, but I want to ask if she's back.
Okay.
She wanted my other dog deck too, so we're going to do that.
Gina.
Go ahead and pull up the question while I get my deck together
You
here.
look for that.
Actually, I think I'm going to go look for it too. There it is. What message? Oh, the dying mouse. Gee, Gina. Okay. So, Deep Shaika, research is needed. Yeah. Good luck with that. Okay, Gina. Yeah, when I think about the mice now, I always think about those darn mice in the Lenormand. So let's see what we get for you here. Okay, so after Gina, again, I'm just going to say after Gina's Divine You, then Lena and Janice.
Right.
Go. And we're not even on our last hour yet. We might end early tonight. We'll see. We certainly want to give everybody a reading, and if anybody else pops in, they can be easily added to the list today, I think. A warning for people about Sundays. We're a little busier on Sundays, so come early if you want another reading, because we do get busy. Whoops.
You're welcome. Hope that helps. It sounds interesting. I don't know that it's harmful at this point of view, but I think it does want to be known, or it feels it needs to express itself in some way.
Well, I think I'm going to want to see the Lenormand on this one, too. All right, we've got all upright cards, Gina. We've got the King of Pentacles, upright.
Oh, I gotta switch.
We have the Page of Cups, upright. We have the Three of Pentacles, upright. So it's interesting, there are two pentacle cards here, and the cups, and you found the mice in your home, so this could be about the house and home, an issue connected with that. This could also be about something connected with money or work, and the Page of Cups indicates to me that, excuse me, well, I don't know. The Page of Cups indicates to me that that could just be about that about the message itself coming to you. That there is definitely a message that is coming to you from that, and it may involve the home or finances. It could also, I'm going to go out on a limb here and possibly bring in family, because we have the King of Cups here. So this could also indicate somebody possibly that you know, possibly family, because I always equate the Pentacles with home and family.
Well, I'm going to go out on a deeper limb and ask you, are you thinking of making some design changes in your home, or, decorations around the home, like maybe new furniture, new carpeting? I'm getting the feeling like maybe you're thinking you need to change your environment. So maybe that's it, but it could be something else. But I'm thinking the dead mouse is sort of like a suggestion of a stagnancy or something, a dead end, and you want to sort of expand. And I think it's about being creative, and I think it's about skill and talent and maybe something beautiful, So I'm wondering if you're going to be moving towards making changes around your home. Maybe they're not physical changes, but maybe there are some other things that just will bring brightness or new life.
I really do see the home, but I don't want to say any more because I want to see, Gina, what the Lenormand might have to say to add to this. And then maybe we can focus this more. The other thing with that Page of Cups, it might indicate that you might be getting another sign or a message connected with this mice occurrence too. Let's see, this popped into my hand. Oh.
Like a dream maybe, or an intuition?
Well, why didn't I think of this?
Oh my.
Mow that lawn. You got the Rider and you've got the Garden. And that's really interesting to me. For some reason, I keep thinking this is connected to the home or property. And the Rider is, once again, kind of talking about either making a move, making a decision, or possibly a message or news coming to you related to your home or property.
Maybe you're doing something different in the garden, like maybe you're doing some kind of landscaping thing that will involve, really having a plan to do something to change flower beds or put up statuary or things like that. But I think it's about some sense of bringing beauty to you. And I'm just thinking that maybe the dead mouse is the sign that you should close the door on something and open the door on something else. And I think it's more about environmental things that are supposed to boost you. Maybe there'll be things that are boosting for your immune system, brighter colors around the house, any of that.
Well, you know what? That's a truth too, Gina, that the Pentacles are also about health. And so, I'm wondering here if you might be seeing a doctor or healthcare practitioner who may be offering you some things some changes you'll have to make, What?
Hopefully not yoga.
Well, the other thing is the Pentacles are about growth. And so I feel that, again, this could be talking about growing things. You need to brighten up the place and grow more things. But I can't imagine that you aren't already.
I know.
One other caveat that I want to say about the mice, if you think about the mice in the Lenormand, they're about stress, they're about troubles, they're about sickness, they're about being needy. And you found a dead mouse. And so to me, just personally, I feel that means that stuff is going away. All those things that the mice represents is going away. And I think that's indicated by the positive cards you've gotten here. Wouldn't you say?
I agree.
So that's what we have for you. I hope that makes sense. Because you're not here to talk back. So hopefully you'll be able to catch this reading later, Gina. Good luck with that. And Divine you are up, and then Lena and Janice.
So I hope things settle down for you, Divine you, with your internet problems.
Yeah, I don't know if you wrote us a question or not, but if not, you give us one now. Are you checking?
You mentioned you were moving over to your phone.
Yeah, I don't think they did, so. Okay.
All right.
So if you have a question, go ahead and post it. Or if you just want a general reading, because something else is coming later.
Right, check your messenger later.
It's going to be a bit later, though. I do something from 9 to 10. Plus, I have some medication I have to take. So as soon as the show is over, I'm going to be doing some of that stuff.
It'll be a few hours from now.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Oh, gosh, I'm yawning. I'm picking up your tiredness, I think.
I seem to have
Actually, I
lost
have
it.
my own tiredness. I only got 3 hours of sleep last night. Truth.
That's not good.
No. That has to stop.
I always have one good wake up, and lately it's more like around 2 or 3.
Okay. Let's see what's going on with Alex.
All right. How about if you shuffle first?
How about I shuffle first?
Oh my.
How do we want to handle that? Do we want to do that as a yes, no?
The second one?
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what? We're going to do that question for you now, Divine You, because something we're sending to you later is going to talk about what's going on with Alex right now in more general terms. But that's a specific question. You know, is he talking to someone overseas? So let's see what we get with that. And we're going to do a yes, no on that one. Sorry, I shuffled a bit there.
It's okay.
So I'm just under a month away. Well, wait a minute. What is today? Today is the 22nd. I am just about a month away from my car contest. So excited.
Good luck.
Yes. All right. Well, I will say it's leaning towards no, but there's some interesting cards here. We have the Judgment card.
So that does mean that it's slightly possible. You have Judgment,
And then we have the Magician card.
the Magician reversed.
And
that was
then
your
that
ace.
was the other one. The Ace of Cups came up. Well, let me just say that Magician card indicates to me there's something deceptive going on. It may
Yes.
not be an overseas call, but there's something going on that is sneaky. Because the Magician card reversed is kind of a sneaky,
It's a person who does bad things with their will.
yes, and they can manipulate, and because they are a magician in a way, they think at least they know how to manipulate people. And what about that Judgment? And see, with Judgment up right there, I feel like, hey, it's going to catch up with him. You know, he's not going to get away with that.
It also indicates too that you have taken that measure yourself, and that you understand where he is at in that spiritual sense. You understand this. This says you understand this
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah. So that's what it looks like. I think
Something else.
it may be something else, but I don't know. It leaves a window open that it could be somebody overseas, but I think you suspecting something's going on is pretty on target.
Yeah.
So let me take a look here. At least according to the cards, remember.
I'm sure you do. I have always felt that about you, Divine.
And I drew first, so you know the dark clouds are going to be facing.
You have the clouds and the cross.
You know, I feel like he's really not in a good place mentally or emotionally right now. The clouds are about depression. The clouds are about foggy-headed, just not thinking clearly.
Confusion.
Maybe obviously not thinking of the ramifications of his actions, which is where judgment comes in. And the cross is about a lot of worry, stress, and, like really stressed out feelings right now.
So he's probably literally at a really low point. Or on the other hand, maybe this is overall a character that he has, and that maybe to some degree the deceptiveness was masking it from you, or you weren't able to see that for various reasons. Or that just somehow more recently it has actually started to add up. And it's
Well, clearly stress or worry or something, let's just say, is clouding his judgment because, he is not acting ethically. Because the magician, again, reversed, is somebody who does underhanded, little sneaky, deceptive things. And he does this because he can, because he uses his will to manipulate people.
In older European original decks, rather than call that card the magician, they called it the juggler. And so that idea was about somebody who's juggling things around. And of course, in the common parlance, a juggler sometimes is also using that skill to hide things, to make tricks happen, or to cause you to look at something while something else happens. This is all the magician's trade.
So, we can't really say if this speaks to your situation with Alex, or if this doesn't have something to do with his job or some other area, of his life. But I feel there's some deception going on here, and he's trying to manipulate people.
So then it's not about the confusion, it's just really kind of like his state that I guess there's, clouds can be a lot of things. They can be flurries, they can be scattered, they can be thunderous in a way, threatening. So these are, volatile kind of things, forces that I think it represents as part of his personality.
Yeah, and the cross sometimes just indicates that, these might be behaviors or things that have been kind of entrenched with him for some time.
I think she says that too.
Yeah, yeah. So, because I think that the cross often means like long-term suffering or grief or worry or stress, and you combine it with the dark side of the clouds, that kind of indicates, that there's depression or, again, that is another card in a way of stress as well. So they put those two together, and I don't think that's a very good combination at all. So
the court date is about this thing with his ex, right?
Yeah.
Well, you've been really putting a bit of stuff there.
Well, we'll get back in touch with you with more later. I don't know if it's going to help or not. We'll just see what things have to say, but we will talk more later, Divine You.
Check back in a couple of hours
situation. But I will say this, the magician and judgment, to me, and the magician reversed, let me clarify that, and judgment, indicates to me that whatever the game is, whoever he's trying to pull a fast one of, he's really not going to get away with it. It is going to catch up with him eventually. The judgment upright kind of indicates what you sow, you will reap.
So that could even be an indication towards September?
Maybe. Could very well be.
And these two, the clouds and the cross, could be an indication towards September.
Yeah. So that's what we have for now, right now.
Check your messenger in a little bit.
Yeah, well,
hours.
Or tomorrow, because it will be there. So, sorry we got to do it late. It's just the way things worked out today. Lena, you are up.
Thanks, Divine.
Well, I hate to just tell you that outright, but let me give you more information when we look at what comes up later, because I think that might give me a little bit more of an idea of what's going on. But I'll tell you what right now. I don't like what I've seen here. And there were some other card draws we've had that were specific about Alex and his personality. And there was some things that were not coming up too great, you know. I never knew if it was just stress about job or business or if it was a problem with him. But now that, you know, we're doing this over and over again and we're kind of getting similar kind of energies, I don't know what to tell you. I'm thinking that maybe you really need to consider, you know, this more seriously.
She wants us to tell her yes or no.
Yes,
you are
Janice. Lena is up and you are right
No, I'm
after.
talking about what Divine said.
Oh.
Go up a couple.
Oh.
Please tell me yes or no.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. We will do, I'm not going to personally tell you, but we will do a yes-no reading on that later too. We'll add that into what we're giving you, okay? So hang on. I understand your pressure. Hang on, and we promise we will get back to you. So take care. Hang in there.
Okay, Lena. Is there new love coming?
Lena, okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. I see it there. Let me grab the mermaids again. Let's start with a yes/no with Lena, and if it says yes, let's go a little deeper.
Okay.
Well, even if it says no, let's go a little deeper. Mm-hmm. Lena's been waiting a while. And Janice, you are after Lena.
If anybody hears that rumbling in the background, that's one of our neighbors who has a motorcycle. Vroom.
Okay.
Okay, Lena.
Shuffle. I'm gonna move this
This
out of
one's
your
for
way
you.
so you can cut.
Did you say yes, no? Or what did you say?
Well, we're doing a yes/no first to see if there's a new love coming. And if it says no, we'll go deeper and see if it mentions anything about the reconciliation again. Okay, so it is leaning towards no as far as a new relationship coming to you right now, at least in the present. We have the Ace of Pentacles was the only ace you got. So remember, this is not a definite no, but it's leaning heavily towards no. And I think I see why here with the cards we've drawn. The first card we drew was the Page of Swords reversed. And the second card we drew is the Six of Swords upright.
Did you want me?
I'm ready, but I could let you go.
Well, I get the feeling that maybe there's other complications that you're not really acknowledging or dealing with. Like maybe there's something that is actually trying to move you to another situation. It may be a physical move, or it may be saying move beyond what happened in your past, and that might be one of these reasons why you're having a hard time finding a new person, because you haven't totally let go of that prince. This one here, page.
Yep.
There's sort of a sense here that somebody is not enacting to their best level of skill, that they're maybe doing things a little bit haphazardly, or they're not working at the normal level that they could in terms of trying to do better situations.
Okay, so the Page of Swords, to me, I like what he said there a little bit, but because it does fit with what I'm going to say, But there's a couple things about the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords can be about communication. The Page of Swords can also be about decisions or indecision in the case of reversed. And the Page of Swords can also be about, what did you say?
Diplomacy, tact,
Well,
doing things
just
the right way.
not applying yourself appropriately. Now, the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords shows somebody on a journey, Lena. And this is important to me because I feel that the journey is away from a period of sorrow. So, are you ready to take that journey? Are you ready to take that journey away from sorrow and into this new relationship? The cards are indicating maybe not yet, because I think you're still holding on to the hope of a reconciliation. And I think, the universe might want to help you here, but that Page of Swords is indicating to me that you have to make it clear that you are done and ready for something new. That, you are really ready to move on before the universe is going to say, yeah, okay, we're ready to bring, what you desire to you.
Now, I have a suggestion or an idea, which is that you make a contract with yourself saying, I will give this process of waiting only this much longer. And then I will say, okay, it is not going to happen. I am free to move on. I know you've mentioned before it's 9 months, 10 months, something like that. So I would suggest to you that maybe you make it one whole year. In some traditions, they like to say a year and a day, and say that to yourself, well, if there's no reconciliation or no progress towards that in a year and a day, then I really feel I should just say, no, it's done, a year and a day.
I don't see it at present. So, but let's throw the Lenormand on this and see what we've got.
He has moved on. Okay.
Well, it sounds like you're starting to accept that. But for some reason, the cards are indicating to us that you feel as that you just haven't totally made that journey yourself to away from that.
Sometimes I feel that the Page of Swords reversed talks about our sense of grace and timing and diplomacy. And when it's reversed, of course, it means we're not quite, we're not comfortable in our skin. We sort of feel uncomfortable.
We got the garden again. And we got the letter again. So I feel like if something may...
Communication?
There may be some communications and dialogue. Either through friends, either through people you know. And actually, even though that's the letter, I almost feel it's going to come from social gatherings with friends or family, where they either might try to connect you with someone, or they may provide you with opportunities to meet someone.
I feel that this does not represent a specific person
Right.
coming towards you, but I feel that what these cards provide is the idea that, as Banshee said, maybe through other connections, other friends, or other family members, you may sort of go back into public life a little bit, social life, and maybe would find a way to meet somebody. I sort of feel this is a key card here, that Six of Swords, because you said you are moving on. And so I think that's also too something that you need to acknowledge, just not to yourself, but maybe to the friends or the people or the social situation too, that when you can state that as your truth, I am moving on, I am looking to find new love or find new friends in my life, that's empowering you. And I think you should do that if you haven't already. And
Right.
I feel you have a lot of dynamic character, so you should be able to see that within yourself, that you've been as fair as you could possibly be in your waiting. And now it's time really to do for yourself.
Okay, we're not going to throw Lenormand on this. Let's throw just a couple more cards.
So a couple more for you, Lena.
3 more cards and see if there's anything positive coming. I feel that maybe that letter, Lena, could be an invitation to a social gathering of some sort that might open doors for you. That's possibly what might be coming next. So if you're invited to a wedding or some kind of parties, I would accept. I would just start getting out there.
Graduation parties, birthday parties,
Yeah.
holiday parties.
Yeah.
Somebody may
Be careful.
may come your way through that.
There we go.
I'm trying.
All right.
You're welcome. And hold on, we got a couple more cards for you, Lena.
Temperance.
Temperance.
The Six of Pentacles is reversed. And the Two of Pentacles is upright. It's really interesting to me, Lena. I'm still not seeing a positive sign of a relationship per se, although the Two of Pentacles is a 2, which could indicate a coupling. But I really feel here the most important message, again, and I think we said this not that long ago in a different reading, but see, it's come up again. Temperance and the Two of Pentacles are about balance and harmony. And it's really focusing on you, because that Six of Pentacles is reversed. And instead of giving yourself to others right now in other situations, you have to do some things for yourself right now.
Which is what I just said a moment ago.
I know.
And I felt that way too, that this is saying you're overly generous to maybe someone who does not have the capability of appreciating that. Maybe people like you being generous, and I'm saying emotionally, I'm not saying you're giving them money or anything like that, but the idea that you need to be a little circumspect on exactly what that's about. That you and I'm not saying you're overly friendly. I'm just saying that there's a way of being more about empowering yourself from those other two cards, about finding your own measure within yourself.
Finding your own balance, finding, once you have everything together, it should fall into place. So what I want to say is our cards right now, for whatever reasons, are not giving us an indication of a relationship at present. But that doesn't mean it won't happen in the future. It's just not going there right now. They're really, really focusing on you.
Yeah.
And so I think that just more, like he said in the previous reading, more has to be done, for you to say you truly are moving on. And maybe you just do need to back that up with more action. Get out more, put yourself in situations where people can find you.
Be generous to yourself. Love yourself. Love your calm nature. Love the way you can handle most of the aspects of your life without having to have necessarily a strong emotional partner to back you up.
It is interesting, as we read for some of you, all of you, that sometimes these patterns start developing. And, eventually they break and change, but right now it seems like our cards have connected with you in this way. And so that's what we have for you right now, Lena. And so feel free to come back and we'll just see how things progress.
Best wishes.
And we wish you the best. Hey, Janice, thanks for waiting so long. We had some complicated readings tonight, but you are up. And so we're happy to spend some time with you.
Take care, Lena.
Yep, take care, Lena.
We'll see you again.
Well, you're very welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll give Janice a few minutes to get her question.
All right.
Okay. Ah.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty then.
So I'm going to use the Tarot of the Ages.
All right. What, you did not bring your mermaid sack today?
No.
We have two different mermaid decks.
A card just fell out and it was the sun. And it was a good aspect. So I feel like you're going to have good luck with that. Maybe something is
Maybe
brightening
your
up.
dream is shedding a light on something there, Janice. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you.
Yay, your turn.
Okay, one more. Go. You are one sleepy cat. I'm glad.
All right. So you have the 7 of coins, which is
Okay.
upright. You have the magician, which is upright. And then you have the wheel of fortune, and this one's reversed.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm wondering if the dream is not such a good dream in respect that maybe it's not really about a possible suitor. I'm just wondering. Or that it's not really something that's destined to, have longevity. The Wheel of Fortune may suggest that it's not necessarily something fortuitous or that it of lasting duration. But I sort of feel that the 7 of Coins is saying this is the time maybe for you to do something. This is a time for action. And the action could be provided by what the Magician says, which is really basically just knowing what you want and going for it. And as you indicate, maybe you're not necessarily interested in dating at this time or being part of a couple. So maybe you just need to think more about that and decide if that really is what you want, to know yourself about that. Maybe this is just saying it is coming, but the time isn't just yet. Maybe it's
That's
just
exactly what I was going to
preparing
say.
you. Okay. I saw you biting at the champ over there.
Well, I'll tell
Not
you.
necessarily like what I said, more like what she's going to say.
Well, I don't know. I think that basically timing is everything, and maybe that wheel is saying the time is not just yet. But if you want to manifest this, you are going to have to put in a little effort and work. I feel that the 7 of Coins here is somebody who's maybe just thinking about things, Maybe you're happy where you've been at as a happy single person, and you haven't been putting a lot of effort out there. So these relationships, they're just not gonna. Well, sometimes they do, but they often don't sprout out of nowhere. So we have to put in a little effort, a little work. You have to strut your stuff a little bit, and also you have to do things to manifest it. Plus, you have to really want it. I think with the magician is about will and manifestation, and you really have to want it. And so maybe the wheel is saying that's why the timing's been off.
Because you haven't really wanted it. So maybe this is saying too that, the dream is sending you messages, and it really is up to you to decide if that's really true for you or not. I mean, there are always things within ourselves that give us symbols or possible other avenues because we have free will and we can make other choices.
So I would say at the moment, I don't see anything coming, but I do feel that if you put in the work and if you're serious about it, I think the wheel will right itself again, and that something will happen.
I'm looking at your last comment there, and I'm thinking I should pull the bottom card just to see what that says. And it's the 5 of Coins.
Oh.
And it could be saying too that maybe this is something you really do want to think about, because this could be saying that sometimes relationships don't end well, and so being happy now is important enough to you to where maybe you don't necessarily want to do anything precipitous that might move you into The Five of Coins is often thought to be a dark night of the soul.
Yeah, it's not a happy
It's
card.
not a happy card.
So what I would say here is that I feel that, well, and actually maybe it ties into the wheel a little bit, is just saying that maybe right now, obviously we've just gone through the COVID crisis, and, the dating scene hasn't been all that great for a while. And so I feel that, maybe that's just there because of that reason. This hasn't been the greatest of time to put yourself out there.
That could be too. So it's really talking about more about what you felt up until now. So we're going to pull the little tiny cards for you.
Would you mind taking care of that? Hurry up.
Oh. Hello, everyone.
Okay, back to it. So basically, it doesn't. What did you pull? Oh, you pulled a Letterman. Let me. Oh. Well, let's not count our chickens before they're hatched. Oh my goodness.
Here's a tiny one for you. The bouquet. And guess what Banshee pulled? Hold for it. The heart. So I think that you will be somebody's attention. I think somebody will find you and make attention to you, and it really will be how you respond that tells the tale. I think it's coming to you and that you're not going to it necessarily.
I would just say, well, I don't know about that, because I'm kind of looking at the context of everything here. Now, granted, these two tiles we just pulled are very romantic. We have the heart here. It's like a gift from somebody who loves you. Or perhaps, you will meet somebody and it'll just feel like it's a gift to you. And so what I think is, if you apply yourself and you really put yourself out there, and you really want this and you want to manifest it, that it will come to you. It just doesn't seem to me like it's going to be real immediate. Like it might take, I feel, maybe within the next 3 to 6 months.
I don't know about that. I sort of feel that the connection is coming to you, that somebody meets you and they decide that you're somebody they want to meet.
We are two readers, and we do sometimes disagree. So you'll have to let us know how that turns out for you.
But she's the expert on Lenormand. I go more with a symbolic feel from it. I don't have the exact kind of training and experience with it.
The Lenormand is very clear, a gift from a lover. But when I'm taking it in context of the tarot cards we just pulled, none of those tarot cards reflected that something was coming now. So it indicated that work needed to be done, or, so that's why I'm thinking something probably will be coming, but it may not be as immediately as you would expect.
And I think it's on you, and I think that this is on you, that you can decide if somebody suddenly starts saying, hey, your hair looks nice today, whatever they're doing, giving you compliments.
Right, that could be compliments too, he's right.
Putting a candy bar on your desk at work or something like that, whatever it is. That doesn't mean that you are obliged, to, feel anything.
It's all on you.
But that's what I feel. I sort of feel the interest is coming towards you. It's not necessarily something you're looking for. It's just going to show up. And it may show up innocently, like I said, at an office, situation.
Well, that's
or
why
whatever.
I feel you need to put in some effort, though. And obviously, it will come towards you.
Aw, thank you.
We are a tag team, and oftentimes we're like reading each other's minds and we agree. But sometimes we just get different intuitions off the cards. So, you're just going to have to decide what resonates with you. And also, since some of this is future-oriented, you'll just have to let us know who was right.
We really want to know, how it works out. So that would be great if you could come back sometime and tell us. But the other thing is this is an important year for us because this is 2 big anniversaries for us this year. In June or last month was the actual 45th anniversary of us meeting.
That's right. You remember that? I always remember the first date.
Well, I remember the
'Cause the
first
first
date
date
too,
was
but I know
until
that I met
October.
you in June
Yes.
1976. Was your mother even born?
And
But-
in November,
Of 1981 was when we married. So this November will be 40 years we've been married.
thank you. So,
Thank you.
listen, I hope you enjoyed the reading and come back again. Feel free to subscribe. You'll be notified when we go live or one of our shows pops up. My sweet Christina had one other question she wondered
really?
if we could
Okay.
answer.
Sure.
And so we'll do that real quick and close out the night because it's a question about Hillary and Bill Clinton in
I
your
love
dream.
it. I love it.
We met where we worked. We worked in a library together as student workers, and we've worked in libraries all our lives. I became a librarian finally. I got the 2 degrees, and I moved on to different libraries. But and our son still works in a library.
We met at work in a workplace, but we went to the same high school and we never knew each other.
That's right. 'Cause
We were
were
about 2 years apart, 2
2
grades
years
apart.
apart. And of course, I was in the sports clique, and he was in the party
Stoner.
clique.
Stoner.
So, anyway, so that's our story. We'll probably have more on that around our anniversary for sure.
Oh yeah. So my sweet, that's a very interesting
You
question.
guys, I'm very jealous. I really have problems sleeping, so I don't dream as often. You guys are having some fascinating dreams out there. That's all I gotta say.
It's
All
your,
right.
your deck, eh?
Yeah, I'll get one. I'll do the doggy. Well,
Who
it's-
made the first move? I guess I asked her for the date.
He did ask me for the date, but we were very, very coy and just we had a lot of conversations together.
I was
Around
only
the, around
20.
the book stacks.
I was 20. I wasn't quite 21, and you were just over 18,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, we're not quite 2 years apart.
I worked on a desk, part on a desk. Of course, I shelved because I was a student. But there was a desk where people could order books and journals from a lower level
An archive.
storage area. And he worked the storage area. So I would have to call down requests to him.
Here's your books, ma'am.
And I would see him, by the elevator, waving at me, smiling.
With the long
at me.
hair.
He had long hair. And I said, who is this kooky guy? He's kind of interesting.
So, being a broke hippie, I had to get my best friend to drive us to our first date.
Well, I did not know tarot. He taught me the tarot, but I had
was the
been
tarot
reading
reader
different types of cards since my childhood. My aunts taught me how to read a regular deck of playing cards, which is what they did, and so I had different forms of divination. And when he told me he read tarot, we immediately clicked on that, and he taught me the tarot.
Well, I had been reading cards not quite 4 years when I met her. I had been doing it for about 4 years, and it took about the first half of that to actually learn them.
But it's because of his interest, it opened up a whole new world for me. And then I rediscovered the Lenormand. My aunts also had a Lenormand deck, but I never played with it as a child. But I just became interested in that about 4 or 5 years ago, and I really took to that.
As far back as 10 or 11, I was fascinated with astrology, palmistry, card reading, tea leaf reading, and my mom and my grandmother and my other grandmother, they thought it was great. So they always encouraged me. It was a really different era back there in the 60s and 70s. I saw tarot cards on Dark Shadows, the old spooky soap opera, and I knew I had to have some.
Well, let's see what they were all stern about. Did Bill look like the Emperor reversed?
Whoa!
But then we have the Ten of Cups upright.
It sucks. No.
And it looks as though we have the Two of Wands upright.
Oh my. That's each of them.
Wow, yeah, Bill and Hillary there. Except it's not the Two of Cups. But then again, they have had some problems in their relationship, haven't they? Well, let's look at this.
I look at them as more of a partnership than an actual marriage. That's
Right.
what I mean, you know,
Which
so-
maybe is more wandish. Right. Because it's in their best interests politically, etc., to stick together. All right. So the Emperor reversed indicates to me that you need to regain, maybe Bill is there looking at you sternly, because you need to regain some control back into your life. You know, you need to regain control over how to regain and restore happiness. Maybe in your household with your family, or just in general. But this is very personal and about happiness, I feel. And maybe you find your happiness in goals or projects that you work on, or just in, what's the other thing I want to say? What else could the Two of Wands indicate?
Well, I'm getting a specific idea from the
Okay.
Two of Wands,
Go
and
ahead.
I think I agree with what Banshee said about these other ones. So I think that this one is saying that you maybe reflect too often on other people who had power over you. Maybe you don't reflect too often, but that is a kernel there of things to get over, the fact that there were other people, and you mentioned some of this tonight, you know, who had, you know, control over your lives and caused situations that have perpetuated. And I sort of feel like this is like maybe that situation. There's somebody else who has their world in their hands, but you're just trying to be that happy person. Now, I don't know anything about why Bill and Hillary have to tell you that, other than the fact that you could relate to them really as pseudo parents or pseudo something, you know, in a sense. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're like a model of the kind of parents that you should have had in a way. I don't know.
Well, I'm just going to stick with the fact that your goal or your plans should revolve around regaining control in your life, regaining control of the things, you know, of the things that are taking you away from what makes you happy, you know, and fulfilled. And whether this is problems, like I said, between family, whatever the case may be, it's time for you to say, enough's enough here. I deserve happiness, and I'm going to work Two of Wands to get it.
A lot of times I really wouldn't put the Two of Wands in an adversarial light, because to me it's really talking about you, the viewer, the person, the querent that we're reading for, as being that person that has that sense of dominion. For some reason, because of the way you asked the question, I sort of feel that's an external. So I'm not sure if you resonate to that. I just sort of feel it's there, though.
Well, Gina, I'm glad you're back. I don't know if we really answered your question well. I think we did, but it was really kind of weird, you know, what came up. That's all I'm going to say. And of course, tell Carol we'll always have her back. We wish her the best.
Get your hand out of there.
And look what came up now that Gina's back. The mice. I gave a big discussion about the mice too in your reading, Gina. Because the mice in the Lenormand is interesting, but you know what? The mouse was dead, and I think that's an important factor.
Okay, these are for my suite,
Yes.
but another one fell out.
What happened here? Oh, okay. Let's see what we have.
So you pulled the mice.
Yes. And what did you pull?
I pulled the moon.
Oh,
And then it sort of fell out, the gentleman.
the gentleman. So whether this is a man or
Well,
just
Bill is horny, right? Oh, wait, those are antlers. Sorry.
whether this is a man or another, family member or individual in your life, it doesn't necessarily have to be a man. there is someone who I feel is involved here. The trouble involves, or the lack of happiness revolves around maybe a particular person in your life. And you need to, I don't know, it looks like there's a possibility here. There's trouble mending that fence. I feel there's trouble mending that fence. What do you see?
Well, I guess there's something about need or worry. And with the moon, that sort of presents the idea that maybe it's something that's being not able to be seen easily. So maybe it's about figuring out who needs what, or somebody else figuring out what you need, because it's not especially clear. Now,
well, I liked your first thought too, now that I think about it. Maybe that is Bill Clinton. Maybe Bill Clinton was looking at you and saying, because the moon is about intuition, maybe a little bit, and dreams. And so I feel like maybe Bill came in the dream to say, you need to clear up the trouble and the stress in your life that is robbing you of your happiness.
well, Bill and Hillary mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. For some people, they may be the best people in the world. Some people may not feel that way at all. So there may be a personal thing about Bill that you feel without really realizing it. Maybe think about that. What does Bill or Hillary represent in your life? Are they a surrogate for anybody else? Are they a surrogate for parts of yourself? To me, they're sort of like, a night and sun kind of difference between them. Bill sort of works more from a certain level of hidden instinct. Hillary's a little bit more open, but maybe different.
Well, what's interesting about this reading is if I take the gentleman at face value that it's a male or masculine influence, and then we have that Emperor card, which is also a masculine influence, it seems like Bill Clinton may have been the more dominant message bringer in this dream.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
So the things that Bill did probably resonate or have more importance to you if you can, sort of discern what they could mean.
Yeah. So I'm going to stick with that again.
Oh, we have another visitor. Excuse me. Mr. O's been having some allergic reactions the last day or so. A lot more sneezing and crappy throat stuff. Oh well.
Well, so that's what we pretty much done. That was our last reading. I hope that helped my sweet, interesting dream. Like I said, everybody has such great dreams. Me, not so much anymore. Occasional visions, though, now that I get, at the time of going to sleep. But
I'll be honest,
really
I
dreams.
totally don't see that connection because maybe I was just distracted in certain ways. But if I think of anything, I'll send you a note on Messenger because sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
But mostly I agree with what we said, that there's a lot of symbology in the dream, and so it's mostly a matter of cracking what those symbols mean to you. I mean, obviously I think you're a person that admired them, so that would mean that what they said to you has value or trust to you.
Hey, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Well, thanks everybody for filling out the show. I'm glad you made it at least at the end, Gina. I will tell you, Gina, that your reading is between Deep Shaika's reading and Divine Use. And Deep Shaika was the fourth reading we did today. So, but we spent a lot of time with people today. We had some complicated readings. So I hope everybody enjoyed the show today, even with the troll who visited us. But, and I hope everybody has a great week ahead and join us again. Join us on Sunday. We'll be here live 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, my Material Matters show to give the financial forecast for the elemental signs of the zodiac is going to be Sunday, and I'll be in the chat at 10 a.m. And what about you, Mr. O?
Don't forget to watch me.
He will not be in the chat at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Only in spirit.
Only in spirit, but his video for the emotional outlook will be there.
Sorry, Devil's Son, we're leaving.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're finished for the day. We apologize. Please come back, though, and see us soon. Oh, dear. I'm sorry we don't have time for that now.
Yeah, we're actually...
And, just as a caveat, we will do health-related questions, but we want to remind you that it's tarot. You need to seek out medical advice, and seek out help with doctors and trained professionals. We can give you some advice from the cards, but it may not be, pinpointed that specifically. We'll have to see. We will be here Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's it for today, everybody. Take care, and we will see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.